Good day, ladies and gents. All right, so today we're going to be talking about triangle inequalities. We're going to be talking about triangle inequalities. So before we start, let's all go to page 2, and we're going to go right down here. We're going to go right down here, and we're going to fill out these two little parts right here. We're going to go right down here and fill out these two parts. So I'll zoom in. Okay, so we're on page 2. So on page 2, we have this. All right, so first of all, so we have A, B, C. So if those were the sides, A, B, C, so I'll zoom in a little bit, A, B, C, the third side, the range would be between the subtraction of the two numbers and the addition of the two numbers. So that is very important. Now, to better explain why that works, let me explain this way. All right, so if we have two sides of a triangle. So here we go. So we have two sides of a triangle, and right here is the third side. So we're going to be talking about the range of the third side. So this can still make a triangle. That can still make a triangle, but as soon as you make a straight line, now it's not a triangle anymore. It has to be just a little bit off in order to make a triangle. So we're going to subtract these two numbers. So if this was 10, if all of this was 10 and this was 7, then this third angle would be 3. So, but it can't be 3, because if this was 3, it would connect, but it would make a straight line. So it has to be just a little more than 3 in order to make a triangle. So these two sides, if you subtract the two numbers, you would get 3, but we have to be just a little more than that. Okay, and then when you stretch it out, we would get, if this was 10 and this was 7, this would make 17. So we can't be 17, the third side can't be 17, because then that would make a straight line again. So it has to be a little less than the addition of the two numbers. So that third side would have to be just a little less. So that's what we're talking about. So the hinge right there, so it has to be anywhere between the subtraction and the addition of the two numbers. That's how long the third side can be. All right, so that's what this means right there. So we are going to subtract the two numbers and add the two numbers. Now, when you subtract the two numbers, no matter what, you give me the positive version of those. So whether I subtracted 10 minus 7 or 7 minus 10, that's a positive 3 and a negative 3. No matter what, we would still give me a positive, so you would still give me the positive answer. So absolute value means you pop out as a positive. All right, so let's talk about this. So here we go. So is this a triangle? So what we're going to do is take any two of these numbers. I always just take the first two numbers, so I don't have to think about it. So take the first two numbers. So we're going to do the absolute value of 3 minus 5 is less than x, which is less than 3 plus 5. So you subtract the two numbers, you add the two numbers. Okay, when you subtract the two numbers, in this particular case, you would get negative 2. And 3 plus 5 is 8. So the absolute value of negative 2 is a positive 2. So the range is between 2 and 8. So even if we had switched those two numbers, we would have been okay. All right, so now the question is the third side somewhere between that range? Is 10 somewhere between 2 and 8? Yes, it is, so we're happy. So this is a yes. Yes, this is a triangle. Okay, so all you have to do is subtract the two numbers, add the two numbers. Is the third side somewhere between? You cannot touch 2, you cannot touch 8. You just have to be mindful of that. Okay, and then this one, what if they're just asking you for the range? So 10 and 7 or 7 and 10, it doesn't matter which order you do it. So if you subtract the two numbers, so 10 minus 7, absolute value, is less than x, which is less than 10 plus 7. 10 minus 7 is a 3, which is less than 17. So the absolute value of 3 is still 3, is less than x, which is less than 17. So that right there is your range. All right, so there's that. And then we have one more idea right here. What if they ask you from least to greatest? the number from least to greatest, give me the angles. From least to greatest, give me the sides from least to greatest. Okay, so what if we have this one right here? Okay, so what I like to do is whatever numbers they give to me, write them from least to greatest. So we have 5, 6, and 7. So I wrote those down. Okay, so 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now what did 5 go with? It was a side, so that went from A to B, or B to A, whichever you prefer. And 6 went with A to C. And 7 went from B to C. Okay, so we are missing a letter. So A, B, and C are our 3 letters. So if I had A to B, what letter am I missing? C. So what you're saying right here is A to B was the smallest side. What projected that? So if I put my finger on C, they're the ones. So I'm saying that the projector was right here at C, and it projected the movie screen right there was A to B. So the smallest angle projected the smallest side. Okay, so if I have AC, what's missing? What's missing is the letter B. And then BC, what's missing? What letter is missing is A. So the letters in order from smallest to greatest is C, B, and A. So you can just give me that answer. Now really what it says is angle C, comma, angle B, comma, angle A. But you can just give me CBA. I'm happy with that. You don't have to waste time trying to make a little angle symbol. CBA, that's good enough for me. Okay, and notice that there's commas. Very important. Okay, over here, same idea. So the reverse image, the reverse idea is what if they give me angles instead? So put the numbers from least to greatest. So 40, 60, 80. Now what did those go with? 40 went with the letter B. 60 went with the letter C, and 80 went with the letter A. And now you just have to give me the missing. So if I have B, what's missing? A, C. If I have C, what's missing? A, B. If I have A, what's missing? B, C. And that's your final answer. So what you're saying is 40 was the smallest angle, and it would project the smallest side. Simple as that. Okay, so those are all the ideas we're doing today. Simple. All right, let's actually do some problems. Okay, so we're going to go to page 7. We're going to go to page 7. So we're on page 7. So we're on page 7, triangle inequalities. Page 7, triangle inequalities. All right, so this top part, I really don't care about the word part, but let's do about the symbolic. Let's do that. All right, so the basic idea was when you have 3 sides of a triangle, all you have to do is subtract the 2 numbers. So A minus B, for instance, is less than X, which is less than A plus B. And this the X in our case would be C, the third side. So this is less than, okay. All right, so, and notice this right here. So that is an absolute value. That's absolute value, and what that means is it always pops out as positive. Pops out positive. Pops out positive. That's what that means. All right, so with that idea, let's just bust this out. Okay, so I always just take the first 2 numbers. So I'm going to show a little extra work because these are our notes. All you have to do is subtract the 2 numbers. So 15 minus 12 absolute value is less than X, which is less than 15 plus 12. All right, so 15 minus 12 is 3, which is less than X, which is less than, add the 2 numbers, 15 plus 12 is 27. So all you have to ask yourself, is the third side 9 somewhere between 3 and 27? It is, so I'll put a little happy face. So the answer was yes, this is a triangle. All right, let's go to number 2. So all you have to do is subtract the 2 numbers. So 20 minus 10. So 20 minus 10, you would get 10, is less than X, which is less than 20 plus 10, and you would get 30. Is the third side 9 somewhere between there? Nope, 9 is not. So the answer was no. All right, let's do it again. All right, so all we have to do is subtract these two numbers, 23 minus 16. And no matter what happens, I always pop out as positive. So 23 minus 16 is 7, is less than x, which is less than add the two numbers. So you're subtracting the two numbers is less than x, which is less than add the two numbers. That's the main idea, okay? All right, so add the two numbers. So 23 plus 16, and we would get 39. So the question is the third side 7 somewhere between there? No. We're not allowed to touch the two numbers. Oops, 7 is the same thing as 7. So that is a no. So that is a sad face. Our answer is no. So we had to be somewhere between there, but we could not touch either of those numbers. All right, so let's subtract these two numbers. So 12 minus 2.2, we get 9.8 is less than x, which is less than add the two numbers. And we get 14.2. So is the third number 14.3? Is that somewhere between those two numbers? No, it's not. So the answer was no. So we had a bunch of no's on this one. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so this one, they just want the range. Okay, that's really simple. All you have to do is subtract the two numbers and add the two numbers. Pretty simple. So I'm going to show a little extra work on this first time around. So 9 minus 15, absolute value, is less than x, which is less than 9 plus 15. All we want is the range. So 9 minus 15, I get a negative 6. But remember, I want the absolute value. I want to always pop out as a positive. So that would just be 6 is less than x, which is less than, add the two numbers, and you would get 24. And that was your final answer right there. So 6 is less than x, which is less than 24. So make sure you write this in your notes, but feel free when you're actually busting this out for practice, you can just go straight to the final answer. I'm totally cool with that. All right, so on this one, subtract the two numbers. We would get 9 is less than x, which is less than add the two numbers. So 23 plus 14 is 37. So 9 is less than x, which is less than 37. And you would type it out just like that. All right, so this is going by pretty fast, right? Pretty simple. Keep it going. Okay, so now we're on our other idea. Okay, very important. Make sure you read what they want. So they want from smallest to greatest. All right, so keep that idea. So they want from smallest to greatest. Okay, so we're going to take the numbers. 17, 21, and 18. Put them from smallest to greatest. So we have 17, 18, 21. Now, to make your life a little easier, you can just line it up to where it's going to go in the end. So I'm going to white that out and make it a little prettier. Okay, so we have 17, 18, and 21. Okay, from smallest to greatest. Okay, now what did 17 go with? 17 was with A to B, 18 was A to C, and 21 was B to C. Now, what is the letter that's missing? So if we have AB, C is missing, B is missing, A is missing, and that's your final answer. C, B, A. That's it. Pretty simple. Keep it going. Okay, so once again, from smallest to greatest, what are the numbers? This is actually in order. So 15, 16, and 17, I'm trying to line it up, just make my life easier. Okay, what did 15 go with? A to B, A to C, and B to C. So now all we need to know is what was missing. So if I have AB, the letter that's missing is C. B is missing here, and A is missing there. And that's the final answer. Keep it going. All right, these tricky little buggers. In this particular case, is largest to greatest, largest to smallest. So they could have gone either way. It's not always like, oh, if I'm talking about angles, we're going to be going from largest to smallest. No, it's just they could have switched that up any way they like. Okay, so they were nice enough to give us all the angles, and they said from largest to smallest. So the largest number was 104, then 46, then 30. And I'm trying to just keep it lined up. Okay, now 104 was with letter A, 46, I'm sorry, that's letter C. So 1 and 4 is letter C, 46 is letter A, and 30 is letter B. Okay, what's missing? If I have C, AB is missing. If I have A, BC is missing. And if I have B, AC is missing. And that's your final answer. That's it. Pretty simple. Okay. Oh, looky here. They only gave us 2 angles. Okay, well, we know the 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. So this one's very important. This one right here is very important. So we're going to do some work down here. All right, we know that we're missing letter B. That's what we're missing right there. We're missing letter B. So we know that A plus B plus C, so the 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. So we have 59 plus letter B plus 61 is equal to 180. So we're missing one of the angles. We need to go find it. So 59 and 61 would have made 120. So angle B would have to be 60 degrees. So that's the angle that we're missing. So we had to do this little bubble thought. So we found our missing angle. Angle B is 60 degrees. Now we can start this problem. Okay, from largest to smallest. So the largest number was 61, then 60, then 59. Okay, 61 was C, 60 was B, and 59 was A. So now we just need to know the missing letters. So that would be AB, or you could say BA. I prefer alphabetical order if you can help it. B would be AC, and if you have A, BC is missing. And that's your final answer. AB, AC, BC. All right, fantastic. So we're going really quick through this. Pretty simple idea. Let's just do some more practice problems, shall we? Okay, so we're still on page 7. We're on the second half of page 7. So we're just going to bust these out. All right, so all we're going to do is see if this is a triangle. So I'm just going to always just take the first two numbers. That's just my preference. So I'm just doing the same pattern over and over again. All right, so I'm just going to subtract the 2 numbers. So that's the idea. So subtract the 2 numbers so the absolute value of that minus is less than the third side, which is less than, add the 2 numbers. Or if you prefer, subtract absolute value is less than x, which is less than the addition. So that's the main idea that we're going to follow. So we're going to do 8.5 minus 6.5. And we would get the number 2 is less than x, which is less than, add the 2 numbers, you would get 15. So 8.5 plus 6.5, we get 15. So we subtracted the 2 numbers, we added the 2 numbers. Now, is the third side, 13.5, somewhere between there? That's the question. And it is. So I'm going to put a happy face, and the answer was yes. All right, number 2. Okay, so we're going to subtract the 2 numbers, and we would get a negative 13. But remember, we always pop out as positive, so we just put the 13 down, which is less than x, which is less than, add the 2 numbers, we would get 69. So 28 plus 41 is 69. So the question is the third side 13 somewhere between those 2 numbers? No, it's not. We're not allowed to touch 13. We're not allowed to touch 69. So this was not happy, so the answer was no. I'm going to zoom in just a little more. Okay, same thing. So this right here, we're going to subtract the 2 numbers. We get 19 is less than x, which is less than, add the 2 numbers, we get 75. Okay, and so is 70 somewhere between there? That's the question. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the answer was yes. All right, and this one. Subtract the 2 numbers, so 5 minus 10 is a negative 5. We always pop out as positive, so 5 is less than x, which is less than, add the 2 numbers, 15. Is the third side 15 somewhere between there? No, because we're not allowed to touch 5. We're not allowed to touch 15. So this is not good. So the answer was no. Okay, 11 and 20. So all we have to do is subtract the 2 numbers. So 11 minus 20, we would get 9 is less than x, which is less than, add the two numbers, 31. So all you had to do was subtract, always give me the positive, is less than x, which is less than, add the two numbers. That was the main idea, right? Absolute value. Okay, over here, subtract the two numbers. So 22 minus 34, give me the positive of that. That's 12, is less than x, which is less than, add the two numbers, we get 56. So all we're doing is subtracting the two numbers and adding two numbers, and that's your range. Okay, all right, 5 and 8. Subtract them, you get 3, which is less than x, which is less than, add the two numbers, you would get 13. Number 8, subtract two numbers, 15 and 18, subtract them, you get a 3. You always give me the positive, is less than x, which is less than, add the two numbers, you get 33. So once again, when you subtract them, give me the positive because it's the absolute value, remember? So absolute value, you always pop out as positive. All right, 4 more problems. Okay, number 9. Okay, so they said from smallest to largest. All right, so keep that in mind. So we're going to take all the numbers we're given from smallest to largest. So that'd be 5, 6, and 7. So from smallest to largest. Okay, 5 went with A to C. 6 went with B to C or C to B, whatever. And then 7 was A to B. All right, what's missing? B, A, and C. That's the answer. So you can just give me B, A, C as your final answer with little commas right there. Or you can see there's supposed to be angles here, but you don't. If you just give me B, A, C, I'm happy. So B, comma, A, comma, C, comma. All right. This one, ooh, these tricky little buggers. Okay, first of all, you see how that's 5.03? All right, so it's kind of hard to tell which one is the bigger one. Which one's the smaller one? That's the question. All right, so the best thing you can do is think about this like money. So we want point blank blank. So both of these, this one's already has 2 digits after it. We want to make all 3 of them have digits after. So put a dot. And this already has a dot. So you want, 1, and then what would be the next number? If there's nothing there, we would just put a 0. Okay, in this one, there's nothing there. So this is just $5, right? $5. So it's 5.00. Now it's easier to tell from smallest to greatest what are our numbers. So we have $5, we have $5.10, and we have $5.03. So which one's the smaller one? 5.00. Then 5.03, and 5.10. Okay, $5 was J to H, $5.03 was J to G, and $5.10 was G to H, or H to G, whatever. All right, what's missing? I'm missing the letter G, I'm missing the letter H, and I'm missing the letter J. And those are your answers. And you can put little angle symbols on there, but when you give it to me in Teams, you just give me the letters. I'm happy with that. All right, 2 more problems and we're done. You guys are doing fantastic. Please keep this up. Hopefully you are copying all this down. Number 11, ooh, we're only given 2 angles. So we need to find the 3rd angle before we even start. So we know for a fact that A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. So A was 65, B we don't know, and C is 40 equals 180. Okay, so we have B plus 105 equals 180. Subtract 105 from both sides, and B would equal 75. So it's a little bubble thought, so 75. Now, did I need to see this work? For your notes, it would be best that you did that so you know where you got this 75 from. But you can do this in the calculator. You could have just done this right on the calculator and put 75, and I'm totally happy with that. All right, so we know that it's 75. Okay, now these tricky little buggers, they said from largest to greatest. Ugh, I keep doing that. Largest to smallest. Largest to smallest. So the biggest number is 75, then 65, then 40. 75 was B, 65 was A, and 40 was C. And now all we have to do is write down what's missing. So we're missing AC, BC, and AB, and that's your answer. Okay, last problem of the day. All right, so this right here. Okay, we have no angles. They didn't give us what the angles were. So in order to know what A is, I need to know what X is first. Then I could plug it back in and actually get those numbers. So I know that A plus B, and I'm leaving some space at the top here, plus C equals 180 degrees. All right, so 9x plus 29, parentheses, 93 minus 5x, parentheses, and then 10x plus 2, parentheses, equals 180. All right, let's get all the x's together. So when they're on the same side of the equal sign, do the same operation it already says. So 9x, a negative 5x, so positive 9, a negative 5, and a positive 10 would make 14x. So we have 14x, and then we have a positive 29, a positive 93, and a positive 2. Make a positive 124 is equal to 180. We're going to subtract 124 from both sides, and we get 14x is equal to 56. Now, when you go on to the opposite side, you always do the opposite operation, right? So 56 divided by 14. 56 divided by 14, we get x is equal to 4. All right, so now that we have x is equal to 4, we're going to take that and we're going to plug back in to here, into the original, and tell me what each angle is equal to. So 9 times 4 plus 29, angle A is really 65 degrees. Okay, 93 minus 5 times 4, that is really a 73. So angle B is really 73 degrees. And then angle C, 10 times 4 plus 2 would be 42 degrees. So we took this 4 and we plugged it back into the original. So now we know what each angle is. Okay, so let's go back to the main idea. So the main idea said from largest to smallest. So that would be 73, 65, and 42. 73 was B, 65 was A, 42 is C. What is missing? A to C, B to C, and AB. And that's your final answer. Okay, so hopefully that helped you guys out a lot. So you are going to do the next 2 pages, which at this moment I can't remember what they are. Okay, so you guys are going to be doing pages 8 and 9, which is triangle inequalities. So, so pages 8 and 9. So the practice and the home learning, you have plenty of practice. Put that into teams. All right, good luck.